Video is about being a mother and having energy, having enough energy to go to the gym, enough energy to do our skincare, our self-care, pursue creative arts or hobbies, um, enough energy to reinvent ourselves, have a new career, pursue a new career, study, have a business. So we need energy. And there are, and this was really inspired by a question that I had from a health and beauty writer at an event I was supporting. And she asked me, she's a new mom, and she asked me saying that, she always find that when she's with a child, she always almost like collapse and fall asleep. And she asked how she can balance the hormones, or maybe it's the hormones, and how she can get more energy. Now, there are different environments and different, what's the word? Support system to mothers. So I'm only going to share from my point of view and my experience as a mother. I became a mother when I was 38 years old, so later on in life. And now my son is 9. And so if any mothers who are watching this, who have more years under their belts than me, please do chime in and share, what advice you would give to younger mothers, and even more so, what advice would you give to yourself um, as a young mom, if you could go back in time. So, following on, I would kind of talk through this as I do my skincare because I now just put my son to bed. I was teaching today, whole day teaching, got back, rested, had dinner with my husband, my family, and then spent some time with my son. He's sleeping now, and I'm recording this. Oh my God, it's 11 o'clock at night time. I just had a shower and I'm now going to do my skincare while I'm chatting with you. I think, I think we need to normalize being tired as a mom because actually it's very normal. It's normal because, especially a new mom as well. I mean, think about it, how much energy it took to create the baby, first in 9 months, hold on to the baby, and then deliver the baby. It takes a lot of energy. And when you're pregnant, everybody take it easy, rest, put your feet up. It's okay, you're tired, you're holding on to the baby. But when you deliver, yes, you might rest a little bit, but other than like people expect you to like, or society expect you to get up, go to work, look the part, look great, look slim, fit, and look like you have your shit together, really. And yes, some people do have that, especially if they have support, but not everybody is in that position. So I think we need to normalize being tired as it's almost like our body is trying to tell us that we need sleep. And being a mother, because our energy is not, especially the older you become as well, our energy is, who is it when energy is boundless? And we can get a lot of energy, but energy, there is a limit to energy. So if you're spending it on your child, and then depending on your partner maybe, and whether you live with parents, you got older parents, your parents as well. So all that's going to take up your energy. So you don't have much energy for yourself. So I would say normalize rest. That's normalize being tired, one thing, and giving yourself permission to rest. Really give yourself permission to rest because at the end, no one is going to give yourself permission, not your child, not your partner, unless, and we don't want to ask permission. It's not nice to ask permission. So we have to give ourselves permission to rest without guilt. And guilt is an interesting word because I remember my coach was saying that guilt is actually not an emotion. It's actually a set of rules that we set upon ourselves, thinking that we need to meet them in order to, be accepted, be loved, be what's the word called? Be included, okay, and be validated. That's another one. So when we are so used to giving ourselves to other people before having kids, just before having kids, when we have kids, that's even more so. And when we get tired, we are not able to stand up for ourselves. We're not, we are, we, it's easier to people please. It's easy to, okay, I'll just do it. And then that's going to take up more of our energy as well. So give yourself permission to rest. And if, because burnout is so much higher in women, especially new mothers as well. It would definitely affect your hormones. When I was a new mother, um, so I am the main breadwinner for the family. So when my son was born, yes, I was off for a few months, but after that, I went back to work, and there was a period that we were able to just take a little break, but because just due to life circumstances, like decisions, I had to go back to work. And so it depends on your position, whether you need to work, whether you're the main breadwinner, whether you know you're fortunate enough to have somebody, make sure to take care of you when you're pregnant and when you've delivered your baby and you have support. So it really depends on your circumstance. And why did I bring it up? I can't remember now. There was a reason why I brought that up. That's right. Yeah, being a bit people pleaser. So it depends on like when you start. Okay. And talking about burnout. And I read list. People say that okay, you need to go work out. You need to eat well. Yes, those are all very important. Yes, I agree. Those really help to get your energy and balance you out. But it's also an extra thing to do. And if you are so overwhelmed already and you're so tired already and your diary is so full, especially if you're working, the thought of adding something else is going to be extra stressful. It's just going to be so stressful, So before you look at doing the gym, the exercise, the cooking, uh, the career, the business, the hobbies, okay, give yourself space. Really give yourself space. Okay, go for a walk. Lock yourself in the toilet for a bit, even just for 5 minutes. Okay. Um, just give yourself space so that you can really listen to your body, what's trying to tell you. She might be screaming. Okay. I remember when I was so dysregulated because I was just so overwhelmed, so tired, just felt so alone that it was difficult to explain to people what I was going through. I mean, my friends were mothers, they understood. Um, but we didn't, I mean, my in-laws were very far away, so we didn't have that support. It was just me and my husband. And my family's all in a different country, so I didn't have that. And I lost my mom when I was 19, so I don't have that support as well. So many times I felt like it was all on my own shoulders. And although my husband did try to help, I did not know how to ask for help. Um, so that was difficult. That was really difficult. And when I was dysregulated, I was just so overwhelmed. Every little thing my son did in terms of like when he needed me to be calm, I was triggered. I asked him, I screamed at him, said, "Why are you crying? There's nothing to cry," because I was so dysregulated. I found it very difficult to be the calm in that storm. And sometimes I just had to go out and just walk it off. And with that me doing that, is a double-edged sword because we know we need it, but we also feel guilty. And then we overcompensate. I don't know whether that's you, but I definitely do. We overcompensate and whether we give more ourselves. And so if I could go back and tell myself to really take the time to take breaks, make space before before you need them. It's almost like insurance. Take it before you blow, take it before it gets overwhelmed. And yes, given we sometimes we don't know our threshold, especially if you're a go-getter type. I mean, I was type A personality. I was go, go, go. I could do, I was I'm very resourceful. I can get a lot of things done. And if you're that type of person, you think that, okay, after a baby, how hard can it be? I can do everything. I can still do everything. And yes, I know you can, but as women, after delivery of our baby, our bodies change, our hormones change as we age as well. Our capacity to do everything at the same time is much less. And so we're much more sensitive to cortisol, the stress hormone, and we can burn out a lot quicker. And then we burn out, we get tired, we start breaking out, or we start building, get rashes. Maybe our periods become irregular or really painful. We might get early perimenopause as well. That's kind of what happened to me. My period was clockwork, and then after my son delivered my son, my periods became very irregular, and then I was diagnosed with perimenopause, I think 42, and I started um HRT at 43 years old, and I went into a business partnership. I made some bad decision because I was just overwhelmed. I was too much in the head trying to fix things instead of listening to my body that she needed to rest and not do. I felt that I need to do to feel worthy as a mother. So everything I tried to do, whether that is stay at home to look after my son, or be with as a wife, or the business, or my practice, or trying to look after myself, everything I did, I felt that it wasn't enough. And I felt everything was a failure. And so I just kept pushing myself. And then with that, it was just, yeah, until I burned out. I burned out. When did I burned out? I burned out in 2020. Yeah, all crashing down, really crashing down. Oh, and it took me a while. It took me a while to recover. It took me a few years to feel safe in my body again. It's almost like all the energy is going out of you, and you have to take time to pull it back at different areas of your life, to pull it back, seal the leaks, and strengthen your batteries. Okay, and change the oil and change the batteries. So now I am very mindful. I know what fuels me and what drains me. So I'm very mindful. I make sure that I make time to go to gym. I I'm so much better at saying no, so much better at communicating with my husband what I need and what irritates me and what support I need from him. You know, in the past I just expected him to figure it out, and our partners cannot read our minds. No one can read our minds. And so we need to share what we need and understand sometimes we don't know what we need because everything's so jumbled up. We feel like we need everything, and we're not able to communicate that because we don't want to burden other people. And but by not burdening other people, we're going to burden ourselves. Okay. So do communicate. If you if you're pregnant, your child is coming up, definitely communicate your partner in terms of what you need from them. And then if you're new, you can still have that conversation, not in a blame situation. That's what I did. You see, I did all the mistakes. I know it's all learning. Um, and then it becomes a feeling of blaming and wish things was easier, and then resentment builds, and then it definitely affects the marriage, and all that, and then adds more stress. So you can see the cycle. Okay, so in a nutshell, I mean, we can talk a lot about being mothers and energy, but I think the first thing is normalize being tired. That's normal. Okay, making space so that you can listen to your body. If your body says it wants to sleep, sleep. Okay, even though it's the middle of the day, don't care whether it's 10 o'clock. Okay, if you're able to, you go to sleep. Um, Definitely carve out time. I know it's easy to sit and done, but carve out time, and you will there will be feelings of guilt. And then so we have to be friends with our guilt rather than say that, oh, we shouldn't feel guilty. Of course we're gonna feel guilty. Okay, we want to be everything to everyone and splitting ourselves. So you can, if you got capacity, if you are able to, then reflect, journal. I did a lot of journaling. As I was as I was going through therapy, as I was recovering from my burnout, journal and just write down, where is this guilt coming from? Is it yours? Is it your mother's or your mother-in-law's? Or society or someone else? Okay, what are you seeing in Instagram that you feel that you need to meet a certain standard? meet a certain expectation as a new mother. Okay. Every mother has their own journey. So you need to find what is for you, what fuels you. You can experiment, what fuels you, and what drains you. Okay. And definitely communicate. Communicate with your partner. Um, I think it's easy. It's better to communicate and just speak with them what you need. Okay. And you could ask them and saying that, I need to share something with you. It's really bothering me, or I that's I need support and I don't know how. That's a nice way to say it. I need support. This is what I wish I knew what to say when I was a young mom. And say, I need help, but I don't know how to communicate that. And I don't know, you know, I don't feel comfortable asking for help, and I don't feel easy receiving help. Yeah, you may be one of them. I was definitely one of them. Yeah, I was a terrible person asking for help and terrible person receiving help. It's just my hyper independence growing up. Right. Okay. So I think as a mother, mm, do all that. And then when you're able to, go and check your bloods. Check your bloods, make sure you haven't lost a lot of blood, that you're anemic, that you will add to your tiredness. Check whether you are not nutrient deficient, because as mothers, sometimes we forget to eat. We're not eating enough, so we're nutrient deficient. So it's important as well, because those two can easily be replenished and just help your energy a little bit. Okay. So it's almost like those are like plugging the leaks. Okay, if you plug the leaks, then it's just easy to fill up. But with the leaks, if the leaks in your battery pack, you're just gonna spill out. Whether you're if you're doing all the right things. Okay, I think that's it. At this time that I share with you. But by all means, let me know. You know, as a new mom, how are you finding it? What would you like to know? And mums with more years under their belt, do share with us, what advice would you give to younger moms? All right, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'll do one on perimenopause. I had another question from a mum as well, suffering from early perimenopause, and it just knocked her really off the wind. So, yeah, I can talk about that. All right. Hopefully, you guys have a great day, and I shall speak to you soon. Bye.